Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, just to be clear, the jury hasn't actually reached a verdict in the mushroom murder trial of Erin Patterson, but it's already been decided. After the prosecution and the defence went through all their evidence and arguments, the judge, Judge Justice Beale, basically spent 2 days giving his charge, which is basically where he basically sat down and revised everything and repositioned everything and basically told the jury what to think and how to decide and what they could consider and what they couldn't consider, and what they had to dismiss and what they had to consider. And it just undermined everything that the prosecution and the defence did. And it was all just his opinion and his idea of how this works. And they were basically told they couldn't find her guilty because there is no proof. They can't prove what happened, and they can't believe what happened. It has to be proven. And unless she confesses or someone's standing there with a video filming her doing it, they basically can't find her guilty. They have to consider her emotional state, her role as a mother, and all these things, all these totally gender biased things that seem to assume that women can't be murderers, can't be killers, can't be violent, and have to be innocent and mothers, and have to consider all her emotional issues and her role as a mother and all these things. They have nothing to do with the case or the situation. And I mean, the things to consider, like, were they poisoned? Yes, there's no doubt there. But was it deliberate? It's like it has to be proven that she did it deliberately. They can't believe, they can't make up their own minds. They have to be told. And they've basically been told by this judge that she's innocent and you have to find her innocent and there's no way not to. And you have to ignore this evidence and ignore that evidence, and you have to consider these elements and these arguments. And it was totally biased and really shocking. I mean, honestly, like I said, I haven't been through the legal system myself, so I'm probably more familiar with how the American legal system works, but I had no idea that in Australia, when you have a jury trial, you have a judge tell the jury what to think. After the prosecution and the defence go through, all their stuff, the judge actually comes out and basically revises it all and puts it into the context that he sees it through, and then basically directs the jury to consider it that way. And that's really how it goes. I'm just really shocked. I didn't know. Is this normal? Is this the normal process? Because I've never heard of a charge before and a judge doing this. So I'm just confused. Like I said, I thought there was two types of cases, basically. The one where a judge, there is no jury, this is a judge and they decide, or there's a jury and the jury decides and the judge is just there to make sure that everything goes smoothly and everything's done right, but not actually turning around and then summarising everything and telling the jury what to think and how to decide. It's just really shocking. And I can't believe the defence doesn't say anything. I don't know if this is standard and normal, and I just somehow have missed this my whole life, or if this is just something that's coming in recent years with the all men movement and stuff like that. Is there just such a bias towards women now that they can't even consider a woman in a murder trial where a man isn't involved directly? I mean, there were two males who were victims, but it wasn't about gender violence or sexual violence or anything like that. So it's just really weird. I just can't get past it. I've been listening for the last few days to podcasts, and other people have asked the question, isn't this bias? Isn't the judge telling the jury what to think? And other people are picking up on this, but the journalists, the mainstream journalists and everyone are just acting like, no, this is normal. This is normal to decide already how a case goes and to tell people what they can and can't decide and tell the jury how to actually decide. It's just really disturbing. I need to do a little bit of YouTube therapy to talk about it for a few minutes because I find it really disturbing. And just hear people make up so many excuses about, it's just really disturbing. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the not guilty verdict, which has already been decided. I know this woman is guilty. But she won't be found guilty, and we aren't even allowed to consider it, apparently. So it's just really disturbing. But at least it wasn't all men that she killed, because then it would be a real an issue of gender. There's gender bias, but not actual misandry or anything. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Did I already say that? I say it so often I feel like I've already said it when I say it.